GM, everybody. Happy Thursday. I see Avi in the crowd. What is good, bro? Our happy builders closing in on 100 active builds. Man, I'm really excited for this month. A lot of cool stuff to come to the ecosystem. The market is up. Migration interest starting to pick up again. 2 active migrations today. Ket and Pokey both over 30%. Pretty quickly. So doing pretty well there. Solana broke $80 today at 81. Doing pretty good. Bitcoin back up to 62. Solana up 22% on the week. Are we so back?
Wow. Jake bottom.
Jake called, bro. Is this the trade of the decade right here? Right? What's up?
Bottom. It just felt right. I mean, it was a triple bottom. It could go potentially lower if for like one final settle bottom, I suppose. Maybe I see a bunch of people saying it's going to hit 55K in October, November. But I mean, at this point in time, when the prices get so low like this, people start going risk on. Ansem leading the Solana charge. I saw that Mitch also, who's like one of like the big Solana influencers, who was big on the Remilias and the Miladies. He's back now after not posting for like a year and a half. Although we had talked to him actually in Telegram for migration. So he's definitely been around. I do have to say though, the whole thing does seem a little coordinated around Pump Fund. I gotta say. Ansem has I saw over 200,000 Pump Fund followers now, but Mitch basically came back, and the way that he was responding with Ansem, maybe I'll pull it up here. It looked like this whole thing's kind of coordinated. So I went and bought some Pump today because this just seems way
interesting.
This just seems way too coordinated.
Interesting, bro.
But I got to give it to Solana though. Like even if it's all coordinated, it's definitely entertaining for sure. Which is much different than the Bitcoin ecosystem, where anything that's entertaining, the community just calls it a scam and tries to censor it. And then and on Ethereum, everyone's just on their like high horse, right? That's what made NFTs fun on ETH, because everything that was entertaining, people were leaning into it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the vibes on Solana. Hyperliquid is kind of like that too, right? People leaning in on all of the scammers trying to open up perps and getting liquidated. Like I find that actually pretty entertaining as well. And that's what keeps these ecosystems alive at this point.
Yeah, part of it, I mean, certainly with like the Solana Foundation and those guys, and you saw they were pushing, what is it, world.xyz, right? Prediction market on Solana. And I mean, it's obviously coordinated. That sort of thing. It's like, obviously it's coordinated, right? They're talking about something that doesn't even exist, that nobody supposedly even knows what it is, weeks or months in advance. Yeah, that sort of stuff. I mean, and for people who are building on Solana, this is the kind of pushback where it's like, well, damn, how come they get to pick the winners of this, what they're going to talk about? It's like there are tons of small teams, ourselves included, who never get a fucking look. And here they are with, world.xyz. What the fuck? Why is this the thing being pushed? So it feels, I mean, there's obviously nothing to do with Pump, but this is just like a problem with foundations to begin with. Like it's just, and I think Solana is maybe the least worst, as I've said before, of these ones. But still, it's in the same way that it's with Coinbase. It's like they pick and choose basically who they're already invested in. And, those are the ones they pump. And it's a bit discouraging, for smaller teams, I think. And it's certainly, it's most obvious on Coinbase. I mean, in Coinbase, it's fucking retarded bad. But Solana's bad too. And I got in a pretty heated exchange with whoever what's the fucking dude's name from Solana Foundation, their lead dude.
Vidhu,
yeah. And I was like, what the? He's like, retweets from Solana Foundation don't mean anything. And I was like, you can't possibly fucking believe that. He's like, I believe they're worthless. And I was like, dude, conversation's over. You're fucking Either you're bullshitting me or you're lying or you're fucking retarded.
Then we can
Possibly say that, dude.
how about we take a few since they're so cheap?
Yeah, throw a couple my way then if they're fucking worth. It was super. I was incredibly disappointed.
This heated exchange was it recently?
Yeah, dude. I was like, wow.
When
I'll have to find it. I'll send it to you.
Maybe I saw it. I don't know. Maybe, but
Yeah, it was.
That's
He
funny,
basically
used to-
Beanie got into it with him because they're promoting World Series of Poker, which I think is actually really smart.
Yep.
But Beanie's like, and you guys never look at like a real decentralized poker app, which I have on fucking Solana, and you guys won't give it a wink. And go fuck yourselves.
Well, I mean, I think his perspective, like he had all the support from Solana Foundation when he ran Solana Spaces, which was like their physical build out storefront in the and he had all their support, and it still failed. And so I think from his perspective, he's like, oh, that doesn't do anything. We had all the support, but it didn't actually move the needle for them. But what would they what would they have been without it? And
yeah,
honestly,
I mean, it does move the needle. You still probably are going to fail, but it moves the needle. Fuck.
And then it got him the job at the Solana Foundation. So
exactly, dude.
did pretty decent for him. But I mean, I just kind of think it's like encouraging. I think that means Emblem will be a kingmaker at some point. Like they will be forced to talk about Emblem at some point. And I really don't blame them, to be honest, because we are more of a multi-chain company.
Yeah.
We've been building on Bitcoin for a decade. We're pretty new to Solana, and we never really made it that clear that we were only focused on Solana. And honestly, the only reason why we are most focused on Solana is because they have all the users. If they weren't, we wouldn't be focused on Solana. But they just happen to, so we continue to build on Solana. And the way I see it, it's inevitable that the Solana Foundation will have to talk about Emblem. It is inevitable. And I will be here for that retweet, and I will claim my worthless retweet from Bib.
When Beep Poo or whatever his name is finally follows me, when we know we made it, dude.
But I mean, a lot of that is the strategy into getting into Super Team USA and getting closer with all those guys and kind of just getting in the circle. I mean, a lot of these people, I grew up in the Solana ecosystem with them all. They were nobody gave a fuck who they were or what they did or anything like that. And that's not a diss. That just means that they made great moves alongside a growing ecosystem. And there's no reason why we are not able to do the same. Our products are great. Our user base is growing. We're building probably the most unbelievable applications on Solana over the last year between Migrate Fund, which has never been done before, and Emblem Build, which no one has anything even close to it. So, I mean, it's just a matter of time for me. I don't think it's discouraging. I think it's like encouraging. We just got to grind harder.
Yep. Grind harder. That we continue to do. I mean, we've talked with 10, 15 different blockchain foundations at this point, and they're all kind of the same. It's all, do you have VC backing first is like one of the first questions they ask, so that they vet you based off of who's investors. Oh, you don't have any VC backing? Then it's what type of traction do you have? Then you show them the traction and then they just stop responding. It's typical. And then it's, oh, we have grant programs. So then you apply for the grant program and it's like, oh, we actually don't know what we're doing with the grant program.
Yeah, totally.
You realize that they're all a sham for the most part. It's all a fugazi. But nonetheless, Solana comes back and will be leading the charge. I'm interested to see how migrations do as the market picks up. Solana had probably will finish with 9 monthly red candles, unless Sol drops below, I think it's like $77 or something. This month will be green, breaking the trend. And it's usually like the second or third monthly candle after that. That's like the big candle upwards to like $100 or $200 or whatever, 150 or whatever it is. So we'll continue to grind. There's a war going on for prediction markets and perps, right? Totally was trying, basically you're applying everyone to use this thing called Phoenix Trade for perps. Now it seems like they're trying to run the same strategy with something called World, which I think is which is created by Phantom, it looks like, or at least Phantom's like a big partner. You read like the terms of service in it, and Phantom is like, Phantom is like one of the companies as like a disclaimer, like of their involvement or something like that. Maybe they just made so much money using HIP3 inside of Phantom that they're just like, hey, we should try to run this same thing back with prediction markets, but we should actually just own the underlying tech stack.
By the way, did you guys read that article from Whitney Webb about prediction markets?
I did. I was not really too convinced, to be honest. My whole takeaway, I mean, obviously I'm Jewish, so I'm obviously biased here, but it was, oh my God, Shane Copland's Jewish. That was like the whole thing taken away. I was like,
3-year-old kid.
no way.
Like, I mean, like, yeah, a lot of people are 23-year-old kids that are Jewish in New York City. I don't know.
It was like, I don't know if you guys read it. Basically, the whole thing is like, apparently they're trying to claim that Polymarket is a Mossad psyop because Shane Copland had a company called Trust Bank in 2017. I didn't even know this. He had like his own company in 2017, 2018 called Trust Bank. It had to do something with like yield, obviously, which makes sense because yield farming was like the big thing in 2017, 2018. And then they partnered with Bancor at some point. And then Bancor, I guess the two Banker founders are Netanyahu's nephew and niece. So they're like, oh my God, they partnered. It's a Mossad psyop now because of that. But
well, at the core, it's like you realize how small kind of crypto and really the world is. You know, it's like money travels in relatively small groups, and this whole kind of like whatever 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You know, I mean, I think 2 or 3 degrees, everybody on this show would be away from any of these guys, right? It's like we're all kind of connected. If you're in crypto, you can't not be fucking connected. But I do think it was interesting the early stuff about prediction markets. DARPA putting out stuff about prediction markets and trying to build out these that was interesting.
That's pretty interesting, actually. Yeah,
that was interesting in news to me for sure.
I'm just waiting for the Whitney Webb article about how Emblem is a Mossad psyop because
it's all led by a Jew, of course.
It is a Mossad psyop.
We got the Jew leader. We got Adam, who was
we are a Jewish company. So
we got the Jewish company. We got Adam, who worked for fucking USAID.
Yeah,
classic.
ID for anyone
classic, dude. Literally,
that is
literally.
We're actually an NGO. So we actually are.
So bring
bro,
conspiracy theories on. Whitney Webb, you will be writing about Emblem Build quite soon.
The one interesting thing about the prediction markets was, I guess in the 80s, prediction markets were initially a construct, or it was like some sort of like, I forget what they call them in politics, where it's like a think tank, and basically saying like, what if we can turn governance into prediction markets? And I think there was like a tagline in it from like DARPA or one of these companies that was like, you can vote it was like you could vote, essentially it was like you could vote your feelings, but you want to bet the results or whatever. And it was just this idea that like voters are going to basically choose based off of what they're feeling at the time within, the recent memory. But if you bet on an outcome, then it's much more predictive, and it actually starts to curate what those feelings are. So, yeah. And then in the article, they say that Peter Thiel, which maybe this is true. Peter Thiel has been pretty big on prediction markets. Obviously, he funded Augur as well. The guy who created Augur was a Thiel fellow. And then Peter Thiel also funded Polymarket, right? So, and then it ties into Peter Thiel's trying to turn democracy into basically a prediction market through Palantir, something of that nature. Maybe that is true. I don't know.
I mean, you realize though, at the core, like when you're super rich like this, you're in everything. It's like you're invested literally in every fucking thing.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein was invested in like all kinds of random shit.
Well, like look at SBF. He's the best example. He had unlimited funds that weren't his, and so he ended up being crafted as like the best investors of modern history.
All the AI projects,
because he had the best deal flow and he had enough money to spread it everywhere. Nobody looks at your losers; they only count your winners. Yep. Peter Thiel's not Jewish, so red flag there. Can't be true.
He did just move to Argentina though, so be careful.
True. Argentina.
Peter Thiel's Jewish.
No, he was like a Christian. He was
pretty sure.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no.
So he's like big on Israel and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that makes someone Jewish. But I'm gonna look it up. I don't know. go to the prediction market. But the prediction markets that I like, bring it to Emblem, as I always do, is just that there is so much competition in that space, and people still want to build in that space. There is nobody that is building in the build space. There's nobody that is building in the Solana builder ecosystem. We are a lonesome bunch, and we are so far ahead of the curve. These people are trying to compete for a fraction of, I don't know, a couple 100 million users. We're competing for the whole pie of millions and millions of users ourselves.
Oh yeah, you're right. Peter Thiel's not Jewish. He's a German.
Again,
German American entrepreneur, Maine West Germany.
Put it up on the score. He is not Jewish, for the record. He used to be.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he grew up in an evangelical Christian household.
Yeah, he's more of like a atheist, like non-denominational, but I don't know. Very strange guy, but not Jewish.
Very strange guy, yeah, for sure. But the Antichrist.
Anomaly. The one that's outside of the club that is still in the club.
The one thing about Shane Copland, which I didn't find so surprising, was the article kept pointing to like all his early involvement, but this guy participated in the Ethereum ICO in 2014. Like literally is like, I think he was like 15 years old or something. It's like, if you participate in the Ethereum ICO, there's like 10 people in crypto at the time. Like,
yeah, you were automatically considered a founder. That's the joke, right?
Yeah.
They have 30 founders. It's always like you see it on Look on Chain, and there's Ethereum co-founder sells, opens up ICO wallet for 45 million. You're like, man, how many of these guys are there? Like, you got to run out of co-founders with $1 billion wallets at some point, right?
Yeah, it is super interesting. So Israeli PSYOP, that's what Polymarket is. We'll see how it unfolds here, but prediction market's here to stay, man. I don't know if you guys saw this. That's been on Twitter the last few days, that Trump made 1.4 billion in crypto profits in 2025, which is more than like the top 5 crypto companies combined.
It literally, billions don't even mean it. Like the outrage isn't even like, people are like, a billion is like, we really have reached billions almost. People don't even think about it anymore. Like a billion is nothing now.
We're trying to sell for billions. That's kind of like what my thesis is.
That's like the minimum.
These numbers are meaningless. Like you heard on the All In podcast, laughing that, oh, it's so easy to raise. We used to have trouble raising $1 billion. Now we can raise 100 billion. You know, these numbers at scale, they mean nothing. And so $100 million is the new $1 million, which is good for
worthless money, bro. It's just worthless.
It's good for us.
It's worthless money.
Would you be building prediction markets at this stage? Like what are you doing that for?
I don't think there's a lot of money in them, but you know, who needs money, right? It's like at the end of the day, you don't have to actually make a profit. It's just more about, can you raise capital?
And like, I think they want the activity on chain. I would do something similar. Try and bring everything on chain. Have your biggest products all kind of led-ish by the Solana Foundation. But
yeah, this is what Ansem was posting about this the other day, and he said, where's all the like unique applications? He was saying like perps and prediction markets are pretty much gamed at this point in time. Like, what's kind of the next thing?
They don't want to talk about Emblem Build. They don't want to talk about like 2 completely unique products that haven't really been done before. But where are they all? I don't know. We're building them.
That's what happens. Speaking of Emblem Build, there's a new app that popped up today. Few new apps that we've seen. One of them called Rare BTC Assets.
Looking good. I love it.
Yeah, this is what we needed, right? I think this is the first public Bitcoin one. There's a few that are being built. So this one around BTC assets, there's a few Rare Pepe ones that I know people are building and exploring on. Got a few ordinals people starting to dabble around. But marketplace auctions, raffles, and asset for asset trading on Bitcoin non-custodial. Ordinals, counterparty, stamps. So really cool to see that take place. How long can you LMAO is one that
the LMAO guys are killing it. I mean, that is such a glimpse into the future of where this is going. Every community is going to have these games. It's so clear to me. It's so obvious. They're just ahead of the curve. And I mean, you think that the trajectory is nuts now. We have like 100 builders on the platform. We're going to have thousands. And there's going to be games. There's going to be stuff launching daily, like every hour. It's going to be nuts. So if you really just take a quick look, like the traction build has not even been live for a month, and we're coming on tens of apps, and the pace and the speed and the delivery is only going to continue. It's going to get
Acceleration, baby.
Accelerate.
This is what we like. I like these games, right? Some of the builders in the LMAO community, they're like, I don't even want to financialize these. I just want to build. It's like, do it. Because eventually what happens is you get traction, you get users, or you just have fun and you have a creative breakthrough. You're like, oh, this is how I can actually monetize it at some point, right? Whether it's like a token or a fee or something of that nature. But we want people to
And it's
experiment.
like building, right? It's getting your community involved around your brand every day, thinking about LMAO, thinking about Doge, thinking about dog, like the dog community. A lot of those guys are interested in building games. A lot of them that I talk to. So I expect some dog games to come online. You're going to see every active community, penguins, all these guys just start having really active game communities.
Yeah, right. With the last cycle was the app era of meme coins. Now it's probably heading into the app era of communities. You just go generally one scale down from it. The app era of meme coins were SocialFi, Launchpads, et cetera. That infrastructure is pretty much set in place now. So you just go one tier down, which is all of the communities. And there's probably $1 million opportunity or more within each meme coin community to build the app that everyone wants to use, right? Whether it's you're generating fees from them or there's some sort of token, right? Or whatever the kind of token gating, any type of staking, any type of monetization that you want to do. I mean, you look at, we'll just use Pepe because it's the largest one, or even Ansem, right? We'll use Ansem because it's new. Imagine the attention you get if you build the app that everyone uses their Ansem token in. And then he's obviously posting about it as well. Like what's the value there for it? And I think once people become accustomed, oh, I could just use build to spin up a prototype really quick to get an MVP out and feedback. You could do this literally in a few hours.
Yeah, it's fun.
Even like the game you built, I'm not going to say the game, but that you were working on, Chris. If you just launch that as like Ansem focused today, bro, you get so much traction on the fucking timeline.
I'm probably going to say if I just got it. The physics on these things are really annoying. They're very sensitive. If you mess with one thing, then it kind of goes.
But dude, if you just make it, it's just for Ansem, right? It's no other one. Bro,
you think that's the route?
I'm just saying, yes, bro. It would be crazy.
Well, I mean, it could be featured as the Ansem one, and then
live riding. Yeah, fucking go crazy, dude. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, I'm dropping it today. I'm just going to continue dropping fun things. I think that these games are fun I think that's what people look for when they're on the train, when they're in the Uber, when they're on their work break, that they can play for 5 minutes with no spillover, no, don't have to log back in or anything like that. Just want to waste 10 minutes. You can scroll on social media, or you can kind of play a fun game with your community. And so, I don't know, man, the builds are getting faster. Every time I'm building something, I have another idea to build something.
Bro, it's literally, I mean, that's the thing. And like Shannon talks about it as like this dopamine loop within building, which I didn't really understand until now. I don't even know. I've pushing probably 10 things I've built. And it's like, you're like, fuck, should I even do? God, it's another, I just have this other idea. It's like, fuck, I guess I'm going to build that one today. Fuck, I guess it's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
literally insane.
You don't just see it with our team. You see it with JB. You see it with Chico. You see it with everyone that's coming online. Rare BTC assets. You see all these guys. Avi, he's like, oh yeah, I just stay up all night and I just build with Emblem Build. And I mean, I don't know, man. I've never really seen another crypto product that you do that with. So
it's like that dev meme where it says first day as a dev, it's like a clean shaven kid who's like 20 in college, and it's like year 4, it's like looking like a grizzly person, like wearing sweatpants, hasn't left the house in like a month. It's really like that. I mean, we were talking about this on our team call yesterday, but when Anthropic goes down, right? Or last night we had Railway go down, right? Or any of these things that are, even sometimes build goes down for different reasons. And as we scale, and instantly 5 DMs from everyone like, hey, what the fuck is going on? Right? It just shows you like how the dopamine cycle is real. I mean, I don't know if it's like comes from excitement, right? Or potential or curiosity. I mean, we said like we're entering the era of the idea guy. Like for a long time, Chris and I have been talking for 6-7 years about all the different crypto ideas that we wanted to build, from NFT slot machines, right, to casino games, to all different types of vault products and stuff like that. And now you can actually go do it, at least. And for us, because we have a dev team, you could get it to a point to where it's like 80% built, and then you hand it off to the experienced devs to basically take it the rest of the way there.
This is the time. Like, I mean, guys, you can build any application that you can think of in a few hours or in a few days, polish it make it a week, and launch it at zero cost today. I will gift you an Emblem Build subscription. All you have to do is DM me, and there is no cost to you except for your time. You have to describe what you want to the terminal, and it will build the application for you. Like, if you are a guy with any type of agency that's ever wanted to do anything, this should be the most exciting time of your entire life. There is no excuse for you not building anything today. It costs you $0. You're sitting there on the computer just scrolling Twitter, looking for the next meme coin meme coin that you're going to lose your money on. Try and build something. Try and add value to your community. Like, this is the time. It is so cool. I mean, listen, I've never had so much fun, and it's like, it sounds trivial, but it is insane. Not only are we having fun building the Emblem Build platform, we're having fun building apps. Dude, look at Adam's eyes when he talks about this stuff. He was just backstage like, shit, man, this app could be so big. But it's true. Like, the apps can be so big. The upside is unlimited. You have zero downside. You have zero cost. Like, get on the platform and start building. This is the time to do it.
I mean, look, I literally, I chatted with a guy I know this morning, known him for years, and he built like one good like plugin for Gmail. I forget what it was called, but it basically like allowed you to basically unsubscribe from like spam emails and shit. The dude made an entire career. He literally built that. That was like 2 years ago. He built that thing. Bro, you could make something like that like in an afternoon using Build. I mean, his is probably going to zero now because people are just replacing it, whatever. But like, dude, he had it that paid for his life for 2 years with something you could craft in an afternoon. And like, that opportunity, it will not be here in 3 years, right? It's like, there's like a window here where humans can still make crazy fucking money doing these things, right? It's incredible opportunity.
But just think about it. Like, yesterday, Robinhood chain launched. You could literally probably go on Emblem Build right now and build an app for Robinhood chain.
Oh yeah,
and you could be literally one of the first apps in the ecosystem, right? Like, that's really, to a degree, how quickly you could do this. Robinhood's EVM, we have EVM support, so it shouldn't be too difficult to do because it's just wallet plugins. And so if one of the wallets supports Robinhood, which I think MetaMask and Phantom do, you could just go ahead and build a Robinhood app and go in. I see these old games. Like yesterday, I saw a few people talking about, oh, the first NFT collection on Robinhood. I'm going to go buy it. And then that chain was like something kitties or something like that. And that collection rugged immediately. I saw a few people posting about meme coins on Robinhood. And it's like, it feels like these are definitely games, but they're old games. Like the first NFT collection on XYZ chain, that's a game from 2021 or 2022 from the Ordinals, right? First meme coin, or what's the meme coin scene on Robinhood chain? And that's a game from 2023. Now you're saying, people aren't thinking yet, what's the first app that I can go do? I mean, I saw when Mega ETH launched, there was a DEX on there called Kumbaya or something like that. Just because they were the first DEX, people didn't realize this until after they launched. They had 50% swap fee share. The swap fee was like 1% or 2%, and Kumbaya was taking 50% of all of the swap fees.
Nice.
And just because they were first, like they literally went there, they built the thing really quick, and people started using it. And it wasn't really until people looked after I think the team had made like $5 or $10 million already or something like that. They were like, oh, fuck, these guys are taking like half of the fees. Right. So you can be that person, literally, like with just going and building a prototype and being first.
It's crazy.
Wow. This is like our strategy too, where we have a community. Obviously, we're the ones building the platform. We're on the platform. We're encouraging all of our community members to get on the platform. And someone's going to create an app that's big. Whether it's super viral or viral, it's going to be big. But if you're like Pudgy Penguins or you're Punks or you're Apes, you should be doing the same. You should say, get on one of these builders and build some cool shit and try and hit that virality. Because if you're a community of 10,000 people or whatever, 10,000 holders or whatever it might be, your chances of someone building a breakthrough app, especially with the support of the community, is pretty big. And whether you can build like a Flappy Birds type of app that goes crazy viral, the Flappy Birds founders, they make millions of dollars. They don't have to work a day in their life again, and it's just like, once these communities think like that and they work together to not only create something, but then to push it viral, dude, they can get super paid, whether it's a finance app or, a wallet or whatever it is. There's so many things that can be like micro payments or micro fees involved, where if you hit a threshold of millions of users, like, these things can be built and you can make millions and millions of dollars. So I don't know. I'm just super excited. I think that there's no doubt in my mind that you will look back on 2026 and say, that was the gold rush. 2027, that was the gold rush. You could have built anything. You could have struck gold. And I don't think that this is, me and Jake have talked about it. Me and Adam have talked about it. Maybe early crypto days, but it was a little bit different. But really early mobile days for sure. That like people were hitting apps left and right. And it's that time again. Get on these platforms. Not even Emblem Build. Get on any of the platforms and build something, because you literally can, and you haven't realized it yet.
It's funny, and I just saw like one tweet about it, so it wasn't like on my timeline in volume, but the kitties on Robinhood or whatever that Jake's talking about. It's like, well, the thing, they launched it, what was it, yesterday, right? It launched yesterday. These guys launched an NFT collection on it yesterday. And then they delete their website. Like they couldn't even hold on for a day. Really? You couldn't hold on for a day. Like, that has to be the quickest. Like, what could have possibly happened that you felt you needed to delete your website and delete like all socials after a day of your NFT?
Too much pressure. What was that guy?
I don't even know.
Not famous, but I think they raised a bunch of money, and then he was like, "Oh, I gotta." Literally, like that day, he was like, "Oh man, I'm having."
Yeah, I'm sick.
He was like, "I'm having like a mental breakdown."
Yeah, mental
Had to
breakdown.
refund the $1 million that they raised. He couldn't even handle the pressure for 12 hours.
Bro, it was like the dev died. He's dead. Sorry. Project's over.
Man, I mean, what is cool though is obviously I'm in a lot of DMs. I'm onboarding a lot of people to Emblem Build right now.
Chris is crushing it.
And
I see his host days of recruiting coming out.
Yeah, I'm a monster at this. So, we're pushing people on the platform. They're having fun. But what's interesting is a lot of them recognize us as the Migrate Fund team. A lot of them recognize us as Emblem Vault. And like, wow, I didn't know that you pivoted into this AI. That's quite a big jump. But a lot of them have different like visions of brand recognition. And a lot of them are getting on Emblem Build and saying, wow, I didn't know that you had an AI trading terminal too. So all of these products are really working together in a pretty unique way, where people just don't know that a lot of this stuff exists. And I think like the Build product is really the product to bring the whole company together that we've kind of been working towards. And I mean, I say it all the time, but like, your app doesn't have to be the biggest app in the world. It can be something that only you use and only you need, like the Telegram bridge that I built the other day. That was extremely helpful. It literally took me 10 minutes and it saved me like hours of build time, But dude, I mean, this is the era of software. This is the road to the singularity. This is where everything turns into a game. Everything bleeds into the internet. The internet touches every single thing from every single person. So keep building. You're not going to regret it. You're going to regret not building. I promise you that. You are going to regret not building.
Yeah, one of the takeaways from us is, or at least from us using Build as a team now for the last month, is the non-devs, right? So the people on this call, building our own apps to be able to communicate with the development team on what we want. Like, there's a countless times where I just took the website and told them to build to copy it. And then I added my own features and handed it back to the dev team and said, this is what I want. And they're like, oh shit, that makes sense. And it's actually much faster than what I used to do with taking screenshots, doing arrows. I still do that, but it's much faster to do. And then even like the migration calculator, the new one that we updated, I literally just built it and handed it to the devs and just said, this is the new one to do. make sure that this is secure, and just add it in. It was done. Before I'd have to wait like a week for that shit to get done. I just do it myself now, right? Or ever, because it's like it's so stacked. So I think like it's not only the future for I guess you'd say for retail, right? Or for people who are users of the community or community members, it's actually sufficient teams are using it to build faster. I mean, it's the rate of change is quite insane to see. It's really exciting. I mean, Adam built a tool yesterday that we're using, and we're like, wow, this is going to not only make our life much faster, but we could also add this to give as like a bonus service to our migrating teams, right? Or our building teams who could use this for their marketing strategies as well. And it just becomes this, hyperbolic system where at some point there's going to be a breakaway. And we have a few products that will be coming out here over this month that we believe will help with that as the market begins to take off. So exciting times in the buildiverse, exciting times in the migrate fun averse, and out in the world, in the crypto world, the market is picking up. Yeah. So Avi says Robinhood Kitty. This is the CTO account. I'm just going to show it here. Random shill. I don't own any of these, but Robinhood Kitty is the CTO account. The first NFT collection on Robinhood.
CTO after 6 hours.
Look at the title. The first NFT collection on Robinhood is now a true CTO after the original team rugged. Gotta love it.
You gotta believe the CTO is probably the team as well. So it's all fake, man.
Isn't it funny that CTOs are just really what historical NFTs were? Historical NFTs was like the original CTO
for sure
of taking over collections, but they were like the older ones.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that community just burned everything down by just being unbearable to talk to.
They'll come back. Those will come back. You know, people love to collect.
Yeah.
I mean, look at people were building in Pepe, people are building on Bitcoin, people are building on Ethereum, people are building on Solana. Nobody has like the cross-chain motion that we do, like the super like wide coverage of surface area across all blockchains. Nobody has that, and we do. And this product is really just perfect for us, man. This is the most exciting time that I've ever had in the company, just because I'm building a lot of shit and I still have work to do, and I'm onboarding a lot of people, and it's like, man, I need more agents. I need more agents.
Bullish. Yeah, we got to start doing this.
When's the emblem going to be run by an AI? When can we replace Jake and all of us with fucking AIs?
It's such an AI forward company. I mean, we're top 1% in terms of AI ran companies. No doubt about it.
For sure.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it. I guess now moving out into kind of the market talk itself. We kind of touched on it, but the market is coming back. Ansem leading the way. It seems like Clarity Act is moving forward a little bit. It's still indecision. Scott Bessent came out today, said that he's looking forward to Clarity Act being passed. I think the Trump administration is going to start trying to put their full force behind this. I believe there's like a Senate hearing that's supposed to happen this month, which is like its last chance to get done. If the Clarity Act passes, I think it's obviously going to take months for institutional capital to make its way in, but I think it's going to be a kind of sigh of relief for the community. And maybe it's instantly bullish. Maybe the market's trying to front run that now. Not really sure. But basically anybody who launches a project now gets grandfathered into whatever is created at the time. Like I was looking through like some of the details of the Clarity Act. There's to be considered a crypto commodity, there's going to be 16 coins. I believe they said 16 that are going to be grandfathered in as commodities, right? These are like the Bitcoins, the ETHs, somehow XRP is on that list with Cardano, right? And Avalanche.
You know how that somehow works. Somehow works with billions of fucking dollars. That's how somehow works.
I wish I could be Brad Garlinghouse and just find $50 billion on the ground.
So fucking fantastic.
Emblem is a commodity, right?
Any other L1 that comes after has to follow this new rubric of the path to decentralization, which I think is like a 3 to 5 year timeline to even be considered in that class. And then there's collectibles category, right? That's like the meme coin and NFTs. And then there's utility coins. So it'll be interesting to see like what they classify as a sufficient utility coin. We're definitely going down that path. I mean, the staking program is just one step in the right direction of adding utility, right? Is the market is starting to talk about equity tokens again. Seems like this circles back every like 2-3 months because somebody either came up with like a new way or somebody was pissed. I think it started yesterday because Eric Voorhees with Venice raised 65 mil. And he basically said that it was a split structure between the token and the equity holders. And everyone got pissed, I guess.
Oh, they were pissed.
Everyone's pissed. Yeah.
Pissed.
Everyone wants like the dual they want like the token to be the equity.
Oh.
Yeah. People are pissed. I saw Jake.
Even you said it was half and half and people are upset.
Well, it's not half and half. It's like there's the equity. And then Eric basically says, well, basically everybody who owns equity owns a lot of the tokens, but it's not, there's no direct correlation between equity and the tokens.
That's sad to see, to be honest. I thought you were saying it was the opposite. Have to see that one.
So a lot of the a lot of like the research type people, like a bunch of the Blockwork guys, I saw like the coin fund guys and stuff coming out and saying that it doesn't work. They're like, I respect Eric, but this doesn't work. But it has worked up until now, right? So it's like you can't
it works for the teams.
Yeah, I say you can't. I actually had like a response today. So our good friend Trevor, who's now over at Lighter, so congrats to him. He left one of the VC funds. I forget which one that he was at. He left and now he's over at Lighter. He basically tagged me in like some sort of post or something like that about this kind of conversation. And I basically went on, let me see, pull it up here. They were having this conversation about this equity stuff. And he was basically saying, well, maybe every company who has a token now should migrate to a token that represents the equity. And I was just like, man, that is a very tough conversation to have because for 99% of projects, there is no outside capital. There is no VC funding. These tokens were launched for free, right? Or they were an experiment, or people were baited into it, or whatever it is. And then you want them to migrate their holders over to a token that now they have to give the equity up after they gave away the whole thing for free, right? Obviously, I think every founder wants that situation, but it's a lot tougher in practice. I basically said, if you're a venture capital backed company, you've basically been thinking through and road mapping what you're going to do for the next 6 to 18 months. That's how you get the capital, right? You have to have a very structured system, or at least for the majority of people. And so those are the teams that should definitely come out up front and say whether it's going to be equity backed or whether the token's going to be the equity or not. But I think for the majority of teams who can't get VC funding, I think it's really tough to do because a lot of times everyone has a different starting position. Most of the VC teams are starting in the same position, whereas the majority of teams who are launching a pump fund or whatever the ecosystem is, it's tough. Although there are new methods. What Pumpk did, I thought was kind of interesting with issue 5 or what was it? They issued 5 or 10% equity for X amount of tokens to get the tokens back. So it basically sold or swapped. They sold equity for tokens at that opportunity. I think that was like pretty cool medium. Yeah, I thought that was cool. And then obviously you have like the MetaDAO Futarchy stuff. That is, I looked into that. It's really cool. Very complicated when you have people voting on you being able to draw from your own treasury.
Fuck voting, bro. Everybody knows that shit doesn't work, bro. Fuck voting system. I don't know. Maybe Clarity Act gives us some, path forward where this works better than it currently sucks. Obviously, the DAO's blowing up and everything. Tell us the old way definitely sucked. Who knows? Maybe we move into some sort of thing where you have this like meme coin, like all these companies that we deal with have this kind of meme coin And as we've talked about before, maybe if you've staked it and you've staked it for at least 6 months, okay, it becomes like a partial equity holder. And so if the company gets sold or something, you can get a percent, I don't know. I think people are going to play around in the space for sure. But I don't think, what we've seen with the soars of the world and stuff, frankly, crypto people aren't interested in it as of now. I don't know. I think this probably takes 5 years or longer to shake out where we get like a system that, oh, this is the best system. Because I think people are still in the experimental phase of it.
I think there should be like there's kind of two starting roads. It's the first question is, did you do a pre-sale or private sale, right? If you're a private sale, there's probably should be some sort of equity structure immediately, done there. If you launched for free, right, it's much more difficult. I do, as we talked through it though, I do like more of the idea of the Pumpkade style thing where it's, if the tokens launch for free and you get to a sufficient level, hey, the team's decided they're going to offer 5% of their equity for these many tokens, and it's first come, first serve, right? Because those people acquired the tokens on the market, and then the team can take possession of those tokens. It could burn it, keep it, whatever. I think that seems to be the likely path. But the companies that do private sales, and then if you raise $5 or $10 million and you don't offer equity to people who bought the token, I think it's a little bit tough. It makes it useless. Although you do get into this realm of, and this is for Clarity Act, like a utility token. Do you want a utility token to have equity too, right? If you're staking the token, right? In our example, if people are staking the token to get rewards, right, from Migrate Fund, and then maybe you get utility for Emblem Terminal and some of these other things, do you also want that representing equity in the company as well, right? I think there's like some questions there that have to be debated.
Yeah, I think that man, I've put a lot of thought into like these structures of like fractionalized payments and like legacy payments for when you die, and a lot of that can correlate to what happens in a company's life cycle, right? Like what happens to the token holders if it gets acquired, what happens. And I think a lot of this stuff can be programmed on chain in like a pretty unique way. I could totally see a world where liquid tokens are already the vested equity that's already exists in the world, and then like a team like us, we own 100% of our equity. That's a lot for a team like us if we get acquired for a huge number. Our token holders technically own 0 at this point in time. We've talked about what we would do or what we could maybe do. But to have something concrete and programmed on chain in the event of a sale at the end of the company's life cycle where it would change hands, where funds are not only distributed to us during a buyout, they'd be distributed to the token holders through whatever was previously arranged, I think is extremely unique and pretty cool. And I could totally see a world where we could give up 10 or 20% in exchange for tokens on the market that would be immediately liquid or something of that nature. I don't know. This is like you're at the forefront of a new technology that in everyday life, it doesn't seem that exciting to tokenize things, to program financial assets. It doesn't seem, but it is revolutionary. It's totally game changing. And it's something that we'll have to cross. But
it's funny, we're still talking about ICOs a decade later and still trying to figure this shit out, man. Yeah. I mean, it is the thing that crypto should be great for, but still working through it, man. We learned at the beginning, it's all scams and fluff and bullshit, but out of that fluff and bullshit come, Ethereum and I don't know, Uniswap and who knows, all these other kind of big things. And yeah, I don't know. It is a great idea, and it is a great thing about crypto. It's the main thing, but it's just may take another decade, man. Honestly.
It's too programmable. Too many
options. Rugs, bro. It's
too many options.
I mean, obviously the ENS thing has been crazy this week to follow that, and but all the ideas, the DAOs. I mean, a couple of OG, Ethereum guys are like, we built programmable money and all this sort of shit, and it all went to shit because people just wanted fucking to rug each other with meme coins, right? It's just like I saw a lot of very disappointed posts on the timeline. A lot of OG ETH guys just like, this is fucking almost like I'm out. You know what I mean?
See, the thing though is I think we are getting to what that is.
I agree. Yeah,
we're just you're going through this tough growing pain, I guess.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, it's like crypto is like pure human emotions, right? It's pure human intentions. And granted, I think the majority of the world is good and doesn't intend to rug. Most people do not end up rugging their tokens, right? But there are, this subset, whatever it is, 5% or 10% of people who end up just doing it consistently over and over, and it continues to get highlighted because you want to eradicate that fully. But you'll never be able to. It's just like you'll never be able to eliminate, crime. Like that's there's just always going to be a subset of people who are going to do that, and so you just try to change it. And people who are in law enforcement know this, is that it's a whack-a-mole game. You shut down one thing, and then they go find some new game to play, right, and scam people or kill people or whatever the situation is. And crypto's pretty much kind of the same way. But I mean, you look at Wall Street. Wall Street's coming in quite heavily. Literally, Robinhood chain launched yesterday. Like that's like the first. Like that's a gigantic crack to the bow. You have Tempo, right? He's here. Stripe. You have all of this equity that's being issued in an IPO on chain for people to experiment with. Securitize went public today. I saw. Securitize was like the first tokenized security company from like 2015, 16. They went public today, and it's pumping like crazy. Which is kind of funny because their whole company is is tokenizing equity, but then they went the public route, and you could only buy their equity on Robinhood. Right, so kind of funny how that works.
All crazy, man.
What a meme.
Yeah, it's like such a crypto thing, right? But I mean, granted, a year or two from now, it's going to be even more commonplace that all of these traditional brokerages are going to have crypto products, right? They're all going to do their own. I think we said this like 2 years ago, where like whenever the institutions come in, they're going to all launch their own form of ICOs and pretend that they made the whole thing up themselves. They're good. And then they're just going to sell it to all the people who are trading on the stock market, which is obviously like 1,000 times bigger than all the people in crypto. Yep. But I think at that point in time, you just got to get off like you got to stop grandstanding and just let Wall Street pretend that they made it up and play the game.
It is so much better though. Like, I mean, I'm not buying SpaceX at the moment, but if I were to buy SpaceX, I would buy it on chain, on Solana. I would not buy it in my brokerage account. And that is like I've been trading stocks since I was like 12 years old. I don't want to buy it in my brokerage. I want to buy it on chain. That is like a total different breakthrough. And obviously I'm a crypto guy, but it is so much easier. I can buy it and I can sell it 24 hours a day. I can transfer it anywhere that I want. I can store it however I want. It is a fundamental breakthrough that we haven't seen before.
I remember buying Synthetics. I think it was like Synthetics Apple or whatever. That was in like 2018, 2019. That was like the first RWA platform. Obviously, there was no equity there. It's just price tracking. But I thought that was so cool. I was like, I've still to this day never bought a stock on any brokerage or anything. It's only ever been on chain.
Very bad memories from Synthetics.
Well, that's what I saw. Like, I don't know, some company was like, we have OpenAI stocks that you can buy. I was like, I'm not buying shit because I just
bought like an $80 million house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think at this point, right, with like RWAs, you just gotta assume that there is nothing being backed there. Although I think like Backpack is doing like a pretty good job on Solana trying to do this, but the majority of them, I think, is just open air. I saw even on like Robinhood, their RWAs, it was like not fully backed. There was like some sort of issue with it, but they're all trying to make their way there. The crypto traders are getting pretty good at trading stocks. I see a handful of them just raking in, following the trends. And there's no doubt that the financial markets are coming on chain. Like that is a definite. The public equities markets are using on-chain to distribute their equity across the world. The US is using on-chain to distribute the dollar power across the world. And crypto is using the public markets to try to accrue wealth or have a generational or wealth generating event that then they eventually bring back on chain, or they just go buy houses or whatever it is. But the systems are definitely using each other for their agendas. And I think that's definitely what you want, is to that just become a lot more lock in arms over time. and yeah, continue to grow. Unfortunate that you have a gigantic grifting president that's just making all the money, but he's getting it done.
Market. Who knew he was such a good crypto
He's
trader?
the king.
Best
bro. He's
best
such a
to ever
great
do it,
trader.
man.
Best
Best
to ever do it.
best to ever do it.
Best
Dude.
trader ever.
He's the best. He's the big Trump is the best PvP artist of all time, dude. No matter who goes against him, whatever it
Undisputed,
is,
bro.
whatever it is, it's a woman trying to run for president. It's Oprah Winfrey, right? It's Biden. It's Iraq or Iran. It's the crypto markets. It's whatever. The only people I've ever been able to take him out was Atlantic City and Biden once.
And Vegas,
Like,
he can get a gaming license in Vegas.
Vegas. Like, there's only a few people who've ever been able to defeat him. But no matter what this guy does, he wins. Although he has been a great benefit to the policy of crypto and stuff of that nature. I kind of knew voting for him that it was going to come with this. It was like, to get crypto in, this guy's just going to clean house. So try to stay away from everything that he's doing, which is what I've done.
Yeah, I think the markets are going to continue to rip. I don't know. He likes when the markets rip. I think stocks only go up. It's only a matter of time before the risk reward levels get too attractive, and that money does funnel back into crypto. But we'll have to wait and see. One last thing for me is that, man, like Build is such a cool product. Migrate Fund is such a big product. We're only going to have more products online, and price lags. It's a lagging indicator, but it's extremely reflexive. And like people, you should see. I joke all the time because the reviews for Emblem Build are so good. I'm like, you guys need to chill out. They're gonna start thinking that we're paying you for these reviews. You need to relax. But the platform is so good, but it's that good at $4 million market cap. How good is it going to be at a $20 million market cap? How good? Because the products, they get so much better as the price rises, right? At a $50 million market cap, Emblem Build is basically heaven sent. I mean, it's going to be nuts. So I don't know, just think in terms of like reflexivity. And if you're at the bottom of the market and people are enjoying the community this much, when most communities are tearing themselves apart, think of what it can look at the euphoric highs. And I think that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Ansem's bull posting the Emblem staking program. The idea of it. He says it's kind of crazy, as he has 85,000 holders already. And then Rasmer says, interesting, he's focused on holder count, not market cap. And then Ansem says, much more important to have a large holder base with smaller positions at lower market caps, as they're the people who'll be bull posting the most consistently. Once there's more liquidity and then whales enter later and market cap changes. Most high net worth traders are currently sidelined, right? And that's generally a liquidity thing. But that's the whole idea of the Emblem staking program, is you get a few thousand people staking, right? All of different degrees. You take 1.5% of the supply and it gets distributed among these people. Now you have a few thousand extra holders who are bull posting. And I think people have to curtail the trauma of people selling instantly, although the most do, right? There's a lot of positive benefits. And I see a lot of people on the timeline talking to return to holding, which I did see the hold time has gone up from 60 seconds to, I think it was 120 seconds now. So it's gone up to a few minutes, but that'll continue to increase because in a bull market, people are afraid to sell because they're going to lose out on the gains, right? Because they know it's going to go up. In a bear market, people are trigger happy because they know that the pump is going to be short-lived. But if you know in a bull market, it's going to be long-lived, you know that these ceilings, crypto punishes you both ways. I mean, one of the biggest trades I ever missed was buying Doge at 20 sats and I sold it at 200 sats for a life-changing amount of money. And if I would have just held literally 2 weeks later, I probably would have
had a real life-changing.
I would have had a real life-changing event. I would have never had to work again.
There's life-changing, right? And then there's life-changing.
And you're just like, man, right? And then you start thinking back about it and you're like, why did I sell when Elon was bull posting? Like, what was I thinking? And then you're like, wow, it was a large amount of money. But then I'm like, man, they could have added literally 2 zeros to that.
Yeah, crazy.
Right? And that's crypto, punishes you both ways.
Yeah, then you have millions of dollars and then you have tens of thousands and you're like, what? Why did I not sell that?
Exactly.
What was I thinking holding that?
Exactly.
So
tough out there, bro.
If you have had those experiences, you should get on walletreal.com and relive them, because I have, and
Bro,
And-
Jake, do not put your Doge address in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that was, I think I was using Bittrex at the time. That was OG. RIP to that exchange. That was fun. You know, Embla or Koval was listed on Counterparty was listed on Bittrex back in like 2018. OG Counterparty tokens on exchange. It's kind of crazy to think about at one point in time. But we'll wrap it up here. Continue to build, everyone. That's what we're definitely doing. Our team is grinding away and building, and you can be a part of that. It's going to be a big month in July and much more to come as the markets rip higher and continue. Save yourself, build, hit us up if you don't have a subscription. Literally, just DM me or Chris or Adam, and we'll give you a free subscription. Until then, have a fun and safe weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Later, guys.